Okay, just want to take a second here and look at question 4 here in using Desmos. This was the question that was given in the review for the last section. Pretty straightforward stuff. Population over the last 50 years is modeled by this. Describe what we see over time. When I scroll down and actually look at the answer given, now the answer given has a little bit more detail than would typically be given in this course. The 1.75 years, 1.2 million, again, that's calculus stuff. We're not finding maximums and minimums until next semester. The 50 was one that we can go about finding by substitution. You know, when they give us the number here specifically, they give us the 50 in the question, plugging it into the equation, we can easily find the answer. Turns out the answers are off. So I wanted to sort of, if I had run into that problem myself as a student, what I would do is come into sort of check it out. So my suggestion still is that Desmos is probably the best graphing calculator out there, graphing tool online at least. So I've copied and pasted I've typed out the function here. If I go to Windows Settings, I'm going to turn on projector mode just because it makes it a little bit easier for you to see. And I'm interested really in what happens when x is 0 up to about x, let's say about 65. Because I want to be able to see some stuff when I get there. And then if I just kind of scroll this, pull it down, this is essentially the graph that I have. And what I'm interested in doing is checking sort of the key points, the two answers that were given to us. The 1.75 years as the maximum, or sorry, the 1.75 years is when the maximum occurs, 1.2 as the maximum, and then the 50 years answer as well. I found that those were not the answers I got. And so as long as I'm sort of close to that, when I click, sort of see what happened was I actually clicked over here somewhere, but then it assumed that I wanted that maximum, that key point. And then you can see down here as well, the 0, 0 pops in. So when you click on the graph near a key point, it kind of inserts the key points. So this is actually my maximum at 1.41 years, 12.8. The question says we're in hundreds of thousands, so that makes that 1.286 million as the maximum population. The second population, just if I wanted to verify, clicking anywhere else on the Desmos curve allows me to get a scrolling coordinate, and basically, or a moving point is what they call it, which kind of makes more sense, I suppose. I can scroll it over here till it hits 50 as close as I can. There we go. And at 50, I get 1 point. Stop it. Rats. 50, I get 1.414. So that's 1.41 hundred-thousand or 141,000 as my number there. Okay, so again, just both numbers were off by a bit, but if I wasn't sure, that's a nice way, fairly easy way for me to check it out. Now, what do I actually have at this point? Well, clearly I don't have exactly what they had. If this is what I calculated for the 50, and it was when I did it here, when x is 50, I got 1.414. Then I can be pretty confident that I did the question correctly. And now sort of just a last plug here for Desmos specifically. If I go to this help option up here, little how-to videos, you probably can't hear this one, but basically they just pop right up. The person on there has a much better voice for this sort of thing than I do, and explains very nicely how to use the different options, tables, sliders. You can see lots of different things here. Points of interest. They just, it's exactly what I just said. Just click on the graph near the point of interest and they all pop up. Okay, so quick plug for Desmos. A quick explanation for why sometimes we needed to use the technology. The course assumes that you can for homework, not necessarily for a test. So it happened that you needed it if you wanted to get the actual maximum point. Although again, not something that I expected you to do. The 50 was doable, but the maximum point was not without the technology. So just keep it in mind, it's always there, and if you do run into a problem or if you're not sure about an answer, you can always verify and at least know that either you did it correctly or you didn't do it correctly, in which case we have a better idea that we need it cleared up. That's all.